What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica. It's Thursday. Merry holiday to all those who celebrate. Go ahead and like, subscribe. Hit the subscribe notification so you can get notifications when we premiere, go live, or whatever the hell. I'm sitting in my car. I was going to make it at home, but it's too noisy, per usual. So I just didn't want to be in a noisy place with nothing to talk about. You understand what I'm saying? So we here. I'm at the park. My son's playing basketball. So I was like, we just going to come to the park. I'll make a video here. He's playing basketball. It's too cold outside. I don't even know why he's outside, but he want to play basketball. So that's what we're doing. It is 46 degrees and he has on shorts. And so does the other little boy, whoever this little boy is playing here at the park. His ass got on shorts too. I told him he need to have on some sweats. It's too cold. I got on leggings, and you know leggings don't have no kind of what you call it? No kind of insulation on them. My ass is cold in this car. I was gonna turn the car and put the heater on, but it's okay. I guess I'll get heated up. What I'm just gonna do is just go. Let me see what y'all said on the YouTube, because I put it on the community page what we should talk about, and nobody left any comments. So shit, I don't know what the fuck I was trying to get some topics we could discuss. Let me look at my timeline, child. Oh, You on Netflix is coming out. If y'all didn't see the first season of You, go watch it. That shit is crazy as fuck. Girl gets into a relationship with her stalker. She don't know he's her stalker, but he's been stalking her and using social media to make her feel like his use of social media made her feel like he knew her. Like he knows me so well. I mean, he's just, oh my God, we're so connected and all this other stuff. And then just a whole bunch of shit happens. But the second season is up now streaming on Netflix for you. I don't know how many episodes it is, but I'll be watching that for the next couple days. Hey, yes, come on, 50 Cent. That shit used to be my shit. Do you hear me? Yes. Well, I'm gonna get in trouble. YouTube's gonna say strike. Anyway, Kwanzaa, is the second day of Kwanzaa or the first day of Kwanzaa? First day of Kwanzaa, right? Somebody on the internet was like, Kwanzaa is made up. Bitch, Christmas is made up too, right? Okay. Everything is made up. All of it is made up. Did y'all hear about Kevin Spacey? Three people who have accused him of sexual misconduct or sexual assault. 3 people who have accused him they're dead. Isn't that crazy? Like, what the hell is going on with Kevin Spacey? What is going on? What is the connection between, well, one person, he died by suicide. Another person got hit by a car. And I don't know what happened to the third person, but everybody's saying it's 3 people. I thought it was 2. Yeah, Ari Ben, ex-husband of Norwegian princess and Kevin Spacey accuser, dies at 47. He died by suicide on Christmas Day. He accused Kevin Spacey of groping him at a concert in 2007. Wow. I don't understand what is happening. What else is going on, y'all? The people was on the internet. Everybody was posting their things and having a good time and fun time. It looked like so much fun. I was like, I was really looking at somebody, going through people's stories and just looking at, them around their families and having a good time. And I was just saying to myself, I really want that for myself next year, not to celebrate because I don't do the holidays or anything like that, but to just have more of a community around me and the boys, because it's really just us, you know what I'm saying? And that we are our tribe, we say that we're our tribe, but I want them to be, have fun. I saw people doing karaoke and stuff and just having a good time with their family, but like with a family, and I wish growing up that I had taken off my rose-colored glasses earlier so that I could have had a chosen family, because so many people who have chosen families, really, would it be called, remember we talked about envy? It's envious. I am envious of that. I wish I had that. And I don't choose to be around my relatives because I don't feel safe. So if you don't feel safe, it's not something that you want to continue to be around. That's just me. I just don't want to be around nothing in a space where I don't feel like people have my back, or I don't feel safe or anything like that. So, but I was just looking at everybody's things, and I was like, it's really nice to have that. And then I remember having that, but then after a while, like as a child, you grow up and you see, and you're around your family, and that. And I've had people tell me that they were envious of my family. Like, ooh, you have a big family, you're always around your family. But then as I grew up, I'm like, this shit is not real. This shit is fake. These people are not supportive, encouraging, or uplifting. They side with your enemy, child, and it's a mess. So, but I was just looking, and I said, that's something that I want for us next year. So I guess I'm gonna have to try to meet people, and that's so difficult, meeting people and trying to figure out, like, is it, I don't know. So we'll see. I know, we'll see. I was telling my Aquarius son, I was like, y'all see all them birds just fly over? That was a sign, I don't care. I was just telling him that, like during like Memorial Day or Labor Day, or 4th of July, even though we don't celebrate, but to be around community and around family like that, I think it's a real cool thing to do. And I was looking at everybody, and I hope that everybody had a wonderful time with their family, chosen family, friends, whoever they were around. And and then unfortunately I saw some people online saying that they had been kicked out or asked to leave because they were part of the LGBTQ community, and that happens a lot during the holidays. And I wish I was in a space that I could open my home to people who are displaced from they don't have their family, because that's hard. That's hard to be rejected. It's different. Like, I walked away, you know what I'm saying? Because I did not feel safe in that environment any longer. But there's some people who are just rejected, and being around their family isn't safe for them because of who they are. And that's unfortunate. So I wish I was able to do that. And hopefully next year will bring about some things that, and new moon was yesterday. So hopefully everybody was manifesting the things that they want. It's a great time to like write down the things that you want, and then like focus on those things. Like, the power of thoughts and words is very real. And I think that, yesterday, and it's a time to just start manifesting the things that you want to see in your life. And every new moon that you have an opportunity to do that. Every time you have an opportunity to start planting seeds and watching them, and then putting in the work, and because you can plant the seeds, bitch, but if you're not watering it and cultivating and turning the soil, the shit don't harvest. So you gotta put the work in, not just plant the seed and walk away from it. You understand what I'm saying? So I hope everybody is, manifesting the things that they want in the new year. 2020. It's gonna be weird, like writing 20 as a that's crazy, as an abbreviation, like instead of 19, like I know it's 2019, but it was always 19 something, and it was always one, you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but it's gonna be weird writing 20 after as an abbreviation to the year. Just writing 20 and then 21 and 22. It's just weird. I don't know why this popped into my head, but I did watch Tokyo Tony's behind the scenes with T.S. Madison, cracking what is it called? Cracking the cold case? Something like that. But it was cute, and not cute, but it was like a good time. Madison is so welcoming. I think a lot of people feel safe around her. It's that Libra. A lot of people feel safe around her. And it was an opportunity to see, Tokyo Tony's still crazy, but it was a chance to see just her. She seems to be in a lot of pain from just the relationship she has with her daughter. It's so bad. Like, we've watched it. I stopped watching the show with them too, because it was very triggering for me. It's not even something that I could watch as a form of entertainment, to come here with you guys and talk to you about it. So I was just like, I'm not gonna watch this shit anymore. It was just too much. But when I saw her with Madison, I was like, okay, I understand where she's coming from, but still, like, things that she said, like, if it don't matter if I pimped you out, I'm still your mother and stuff like that, and that kind of stuff does not fly. And things like that, was like, why would she say some things like that? But she said that she had her when she was 15 or 16, so she, like, essentially grew up with her. They're like, essentially, it's more of like it's crazy because it's more of like in a age gap that close. It's more of like a sister or like an auntie, and there's not a respect there for someone that close in age. But then she's operating from a space as, you should respect me because I'm your mother, but y'all really just growing up together. And it's like, and it's really sad to watch. But I was able to see another side of Tokyo Toni, and China looks just like her. When I tell you, they look just alike. But she said everything she was, she said her daughter was really smart. She was a hustler. She got that from her. And that's all this thing. Go watch it. It was very interesting to watch. It's very interesting. She asked her some really good questions. Let me plug this shit. I think I have to turn the car on to plug this in. I mean, for this too. Yeah, I do. Okay. Because my battery's about to die on this. Hopefully it's not about to die on the phone. Because if it dies on the phone, we just going to lose all of this. What else was happening on the websites today? Go to the Shade Room and see what's going on. Drake did a Rap Radar interview. I haven't seen all of it. I've seen portions of it. And he's just the typical Scorpio, fake, sad, emotionally manipulative type of dude. So it's what the clips that I saw, I was like, okay, Drake, you need more people. Let's see. Nothing on the Shade Room. A picture of Lala and Carmelo and their little boy taking a family photo. And everybody's like, oh, that's all that matters. The little boy is happy and things like that. And it's, it's hard for some people to, Carmelo Anthony, I don't know. And maybe that's just me. I think when somebody disrespects you in the way of by cheating on you, and you just keep, and you do things for the sake of the child. And then, like, I was watching a video and somebody was like, you stay for the children, right? And you do things, for the children. Now, the way that Will Smith and Jada and Cherie, how they did it, even though she said it was hard to get to the point where they are, but I can't imagine anyone staying for the children. And then as your child gets older, it was Rodney, when your child gets older and leaves the home, you now have wasted all of this time staying in a toxic environment or a toxic relationship for a child. And that child is going to get up one day and no longer need you for their survival. And they're going to move away. And you are going to look back and say, God damn, I stayed all of this time when I could have been living a genuinely, authentically happy life. But I stayed for my kid, and now my kid's going off to college, and now I'm sitting here and I have wasted 18 years. I don't know. One time this guy told me that I look at conflict as a way to I look at conflict as dissolution. Like, as soon as something happens, I'm ready. Like, as soon as something breaks, I'm ready to throw it away. I'm not trying to fix it or anything like that. And I had to really, like, think about that, because I feel like that. I even feel, and maybe that's part of, like, the codependency part of my personality, where I feel like as soon as you and I have conflict, it's over. It's over. If you disrespect me, it's over. It's a wrap. I can't. And I can't. It's broken. And some people, like, old people be like, oh, they just throw things away. after it's broken. It's like, what do you, how, I like, how many times do you have to put it back together after it's broken? And then after it breaks and you put it back together, it's not going to function the same way as it did originally. And I don't understand why. I do understand why people do it. A lot of people do it for children, but then you have to think about, like, goddamn, what are you gonna, the little boy is happy, but is she happy? Like, and then it's like, why do people compromise their happiness for someone else? And that's why I get like somebody said, I'm so anti-men because I said something about, Kenya not saying that the baby was her happiest moment in her life. And it's like, when are they allowed to do something, women especially, when are they allowed to make moves in their journey for themselves? When does that happen, right? Because as soon as she gets a husband, as soon as she gets a baby, it's all about who she is for someone else. What about who she is for herself? When does she get to decide or be responsible for her happiness instead of someone else's happiness? Why does anyone have to compromise their peace and their happiness for someone else? Why does that always have to be the burden of a woman in the relationship? And I'm just looking at this picture and I'm like, yes, the little boy looks happy, but what about Lala? Is Lala happy? Like, is she happy, or is she compromising her happiness for her child's happiness? And why do people have to do that? Like Heavenly said the other day, I was watching her video on the last episode of Married to Medicine, and she was like, I never wanted to have kids. Do I love my kids? Yes, but I never wanted to have kids. And I thought to myself, so many people are probably going to give her hell for saying that she never wanted kids. Because it's like, how dare you as a woman say that you never wanted to be married or you never wanted to have kids? How dare you say that and you have kids? How dare you? And it's like, a woman has to behave in a certain way when it comes to children and marriage. They have to play respectability politics. And it's very rare do you hear a woman admit, I never wanted kids. I'm one of those women, never wanted kids, never wanted to be married, but in my mind, there was a sense of, and I look back on how I ended up in the relationship that I was in where I produced children, but I look at that as like, there was still something in me that when the idea to get married came up, I was like, ooh, yes. It was like still something in me, even though growing up, I rejected it. I've always said, never want to get married, never want to have kids. I just wanted to be by myself. But then when I had past life readings, the lady was like, bitch, every life you had 2 little boys with you. So whatever was going to happen, you were going to have 2 little boys with you, 2 boys with you in your life. So it's nothing that I could have avoided. You know what they say, make plans, and what's the saying? You make plans and God laughs. You make plans and the universe is like, girl, okay, whatever, bitch. But I think it's unfortunate that a lot of women have to make so many sacrifices and compromises for either a man or their children, and they lose themselves. And I don't understand why people don't see so many women have that same conversation or that same story. Like, I lost myself, I lost myself in my family. I lost myself in my children. And now their children, 17, 18, 19, get up and move away. And now you're looking like, who am I? Because you are no longer you. You became a wife and you became a mother. But what happened to you? Where did you go? Because you were everything to somebody else. And when it's all said and done, who is going to be everything to you? Right? That's my theory why men die first. Because they give their wherewithal to, they basically go from mama to wife. and then they regress back into a child and they die first. That's my theory. Because you have somebody else taking, you don't even take care of you let yourself go to the point where your mind goes, your body goes, you don't take care of yourself, you don't go to the doctor, somebody is always on you, making sure you're doing, like, always managing you, always managing someone else's life, and completely mismanages her life. I don't know, that's just me. And I'm looking at this picture of Lala and I'm like, okay, do what you have to do. I mean, for some people, it's do what you have to do for your children. Greg Leaks announces he's officially cancer-free, no cancer detected. Congratulations. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Good for him. Who else is this? And then, like, Fabulous and Emily B. The rumor is he gave you a goddamn reconstruction of your goddamn teeth, and you sitting up in a picture with him. There's no way I can get past that. I don't know if maybe I don't like men to the point where I'm like, you're not gonna be able to rearrange my face and I'm gonna sit up in a picture with you on a holiday. No, you're not gonna be able to do that. And I was just reading another post with this. Hold on. Hello? Yeah, Fabulous and Emily. There's no way. There's no way. And it's like, I just don't understand the psychology behind it. Sometimes I think it's about women not feeling like they're worth it to leave. I think some women feel like, I don't want to get to know anybody again, or I don't want to be vulnerable with another person again, or I don't know what it is, but there's no way that you could have knocked my teeth out and I'm sitting up in a pit. That is something that I just don't understand. And I don't understand it, and I just don't get it. I just don't understand it. But just like this girl on Twitter was saying that she cut a friend off because her friend is in a domestic violence situation. And she cut her friend off because she has allowed her to come stay with her about 4 to 5 times. I think that's what it was. And she keeps going back to the guy, and it's the holidays, and she's back over there with the guy now. So she's cutting the friend off and not going to help her anymore. And I just said to myself, I understand the frustration of trying to help somebody, especially somebody in a domestic violence situation, trying to help them, and they keep going back. They keep going back. But in my mind, and if you understand domestic violence and how it works, the abuser wants people to give up on you. Your abuser wants people to cut you off and say no more. They want to isolate you so they can continue to abuse you and eventually kill you, if that's what it leads to, right? And I felt like, okay, it's fucked up for you to say you're gonna cut her off, but instead of saying, I'm gonna cut her off, say, you know what, like, to me, I feel like in my mind I was thinking, it's fucked up for a person to say that, but also I understand the frustration of trying to, like, girl, how many fucking times are you gonna go back and let that nigga beat you upside the head? How many times? Now I'm frustrated. I want to help you, but then I was thinking, how is she treating her when she is a shelter for her friend? Are you being uplifting? Are you being supportive? Are you calling, domestic violence hotlines and getting her to talk to somebody? Because I feel like if she's gone to you 3 or 4 times, they say the statistic is they leave 7 times before they actually leave, before they actually cut everything off and leave. And if she keeps coming to you, clearly she has an understanding that this is not right. She's not someone that you're like, I don't know the situation, but she's not someone that you're like, you're trying to get her to leave. Like, girl, come on. She's leaving on her own and coming to you for shelter. There's an understanding that what she's going through isn't correct. And I think there's children involved. So it's like, okay, she's going to go to him for the holidays, and now you no longer speak to her. So what happens when she needs shelter again? And I understand about protecting your energy and protecting your peace. And there's a way that you can be a safe space for someone without you having to expel or drain your energy. Do you understand? Like, you can be there for someone in a way and support them. But to cut someone off who sees you as a shelter, I just think it's so dangerous, and I think it's messed up. Like I get both sides, but I feel bad because that one time where she needs you, that might be the time where she, something really bad happens, So I don't know. So that was the stuff that I've been seeing online, like the people taking pictures with their families and stuff. And it's like, you show one picture of Lala. Her guy has been, Carmelo has been disrespectful to her. Then you show Fabulous and Emily. He's been disrespectful to her. Who is this? Oh, Trey Songz. I don't know nothing about him. The Wilsons. Now that's a family you looking like, we don't know what's going on in their household, but we're looking like, okay, well, Russell Wilson has never been disrespectful. He's never cheated on a girl. Okay, he never cheated on the girl or anything else. So I see that. Dwayne Wade and his family. Very nice picture. The Tuckers, honey, the Burrises. That's Candy and her family. She's the head of household. This Tiana and G Herbo, they always are in some toxic mess. It's just really weird to see shit like that for me. over and over again. And then be like, oh, we're such a happy family. It's just weird for me. And I just don't understand it. And maybe I am to the point where I'm like, I see conflict as like, that's it. And I have to work on that. And I myself, I saw myself recently as this year, getting into or trying to hold on to a relationship that was toxic. And that, got into a toxic space, holding on to that relationship because I internalized it when someone told me, you look at conflict as a way to dissolve the relationship right then and there, right? So I was like, let me work on this. Let me work on being a good friend. But then it got toxic after a while, and I was like, you know what? We're not doing this, because I cannot compromise my peace and my sanity just to hold on to and try to work on something that continues to cycle and be, unhealthy. And it's just not something that I try, you try, but how many times do you try? I don't know. How many times do you try? Anyways, what else? I think that's enough of talking to y'all. It's almost 30 minutes. I think that's it. My son walked home. So I think that's it. Anything else? Let's see what else is on. What else the people are talking about? Let me go to YouTube real quick and see. Y'all didn't put nothing on in the comments. I said, what are we talking about today? I'm about to hit record, and nobody said anything. So everybody's with their families and stuff. Dr. Claude Anderson was on the Breakfast Club, and he was talking about Black economic wealth, and he was saying, and I just want to say this, and then we're going to end it, which I thought was wonderful and it was good. He talked about the 5 things that we need to be what is that? Oh, that's the sun. I was like, what is that? No, that's not the space between my arm and my breast. I was like, what? He said there's 5 things that we need in our community to be separate, to be separate. And he said something that stuck out to me. He said that immigrants come to this country and no one wants to integrate with Black people. Black people are the only group of people who want to integrate into white spaces. And I think the psychology behind that is from telling a person, when you tell a person you can't sit here, you can't sit here. You can't sit here, you can't be over here. They're going to fight in order to sit there. They're going to do everything they need to do in order to sit there, right? Like the education system, where he said education should actually be the last thing that we work on, because it is basically, it's not, I should say it like this. I'm just going to say it. White people created a institution that says you need higher education in order to compete in this country. Okay, now I'm not talking about like medical degrees, law degrees, degrees that you need to where you have to go to school to learn how to do these things. I'm talking about just regular higher education, regular degrees, right? They created this system to keep black people out, right? Then black people created a system we created, HBCUs for our educational purposes so that we can compete with these white people. All the while, these white people are really getting into these spaces through nepotism, right? And through like the whole college admission scandal. They're not the only ones. They just the only ones that got caught. You understand what I'm saying? They're not the only ones. They just got caught. So this idea that you are really competing with mediocrity, and you've created this idea like, I need this education because I need to be able to compete within a system already, that thrives on racism, right? That is, oh, look at the dog. I love dogs. He's coming to walk his dog. They thrive on racism. It works on racism. So no matter the edge, how many people, I don't want to, but that's what he said. So he said this. Number one, the economy, okay? We have to be able to make it so that our dollar within our community recycles 8 to 10 times before going out of our community, right? He says we have to have a wholly independent economic structure, jobs, goods, products, and resources. Then number two, we have to have, and in that have a code of conduct. How are we going to behave? How are we going to act? Then we're going to have to get politicians, either by the politician, because we know how the system works. By the politicians, make sure that the politicians are focused on a specific black agenda, right? Politicians who represent black people. Then by getting with the politicians, you get in through law enforcement in the courts, right? So we can make sure that people are not being, the court system is not being ran with a kind of a racist undertone, in which it is now. Then you have to get into the media, because we are 13 to 15% of the population. We should own 13 to 15% of each industry. If we represent 13 to 15% of the population, we should represent 13 to 15% in each industry. Okay? So that we can communicate, organize, and motivate. And then education should be used as a tool. I thought it was wonderful. Anyway, so I'm going to end it with that. Y'all have a wonderful day. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let me know what you think of my random ideas about, and maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's just what I've gone to, but I'm trying to learn how to not correlate conflict with dissolution, because I'm like, oh, it's broke. Okay, let's throw this shit away, because, and when you try to fix things and it doesn't change, or it compromises the functionality of the relationship, maybe it is time to throw it away. But so many people are just really like, I don't want to get more into it. I don't want to repeat myself. But that's all I have to say. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for listening to me. Let's get down in the comments. We'll be back tomorrow. Please leave me some comments on what you want to talk about. Oh my God. On what you want to talk about. And we'll talk tomorrow. Take care of each other. Peace.